Hey there, thanks for having me. Braxton Woodham, founder of Amplica Labs, just renamed ourselves recently, actually. And here to talk about how we're imminently bringing millions of people into this Web3 ecosystem. And let me see if I can get this to work. Before I jump into that specific issue, I want to first talk about how we got here, and that is the team that I work with. We were working in social media over a decade ago. We built a real-time analytics platform, one of the first few startups to process the Twitter fire hose. And what we saw at that time and learned was when we kind of got our heads around what the social graph is that connects all people in a network, we became concerned about that social graph being contained within a private platform. And of course, in the years since, we've seen with these centralized social networks the rise of the surveillance economy, which has, of course, come with the spread of disinformation, polarization, and really now threatening the stability of our democracies. So it's a huge crisis that we all see, and we're now seeing solutions put forward. Um, right now, center stage, you see Threads, right, that just came out, already has millions and millions of people on it. That's based now on ActivityPub, along with Mastodon, got a lot of press. But we're very concerned about these solutions that are using federated approaches, where you go from where we are today with Elon versus Zuckerberg to a world of maybe 1,000 Elons and Zuckerbergs, which we don't really believe fundamentally addresses the problems we're seeing. We need to fundamentally decentralize the data, the graph, and therefore decentralize the power. And so that's what we're focused on with the protocol we've been building and the associated blockchain. So if you go back to the Twitter days or look at the social graph, it's important to note that it's really the rails how we all communicate. It's not just a listing or directory of people. If you all have if for instance Gavin Wood tweets and you all get that in your feed, the way that happens is because you all follow him. That is the social graph. So all those communications, likes, tweets, videos, they're all traversing a social graph. And right now they primarily traverse private graphs, like the Twitter firehose being one. And so we started looking at this and said, well, really the social graph should be open, more like a river that anyone can access, and you can communicate and put your message out there, and it would just flow through this river that's universally accessible, that's just part of the open internet. Now, you can have private communications in public encrypted on this river. As we started building the protocol, we realized it's actually more like open water. It should be just like international waters. No major state actors or corporate actors that control how we all interact, but protocols for how we behave and how our communications kind of get transported and received. And so that's kind of what we've been doing, is looking at an open protocol, and really we're talking about a third phase of the internet. So the way we look at it is, the first 30 years you had the world's computers connected, and a lot of technologies came to play, but TCP/IP was the center point of that protocol suite. Then we've been in this next 30-year phase with the web, HTTP being the center point protocol. But we quickly got into the fact that second phase was linking all data on the computers. But quickly you get to that data is generated and consumed by people, and that's where that layer was privatized. And so we feel like that needs to be opened up to the public. So that's where this solution comes in. Frequency is the chain we built in the Polkadot ecosystem. It's a parachain launched the very end of last year. And it's running on this DSMP protocol. It's an open protocol meant to be a core internet protocol for decentralized social networking, much broader than social media. Any human interaction would, in theory, leverage this protocol. Anybody can contribute to this protocol, and then different blockchains can implement it, frequency being the first. Where we get to millions of users now is that we've designed this such that we can bring apps on and meet people where they are in Web 2. So our first partner is MeWe. You may have heard of them. They have about 20 million members, and we've already built the technical bridges with a tokenless wallet that allows them to come through, just like updating your terms of service and your password, things that people already know how to do kind of in the Web 2 world, bring them on chain. So we have a direct path now where we expect within less than a year, within months, we'll have over 1 million active people on chain. And then if you go beyond MiWi, we have a pipeline of other projects, other communities that'll be right behind that, and could take us and will take us to many millions of users over time. And so that's imminently happening. So we're on the precipice of this massive growth of people on chain right now. A16Z, they track active wallets. They say about 15, 16 million a month right now as of like April. And we know a lot of people have duplicate wallets, multiple wallets. So you're talking about us bringing over like a double-digit percentage increase in people on chain, within less than a year. So this is a sea change about to happen. With that, of course, there's a lot of responsibility, and that is why you see frequency and DSMP being separated. You may have heard of this concept called the Ulysses Pact, which is where he was lashed to the mast to avoid the kind of siren songs that would pull them into the rocks. Well, in our case, we thought about if you look at what's happened with Metacorp and others, the siren song of power is so great that it led to the surveillance economy we experience now, and it's pretty clear that the leaders in the current kind of world of social media and really social networking broadly are not going to unwind this. They just aren't going to resist the siren song. And so we built in this separation, going backwards here, to DSMP and frequency to ensure that if there was ever a problem with a tokenized ecosystem being captured, the core way that we all communicate would still be protected. This is also important because it ameliorates the concerns you'll have at scale with people there are still many, in the broader community outside of our world, there are blockchain skeptics. We saw this with Kickstarter when they started to move over on-chain. We saw this with Discord when they pulled back, and a lot of others. So we're very conscious that to do this at scale, we have to address some of those concerns. Although we, of course, see blockchain as the only known solution for decentralized data storage, which is what's essential for these social networks. So frequency is one protocol. It's one piece of a much larger puzzle, just the same way that DSMP, just the same way that HTTP is a one piece of the web. You still need browsers, you need web servers. For the core internet, same thing. And so one thing I wanted to do here is just as a call out to people out there in the Web3 space, we need you to join with us. We need to solve problems together, or even just in a loosely coupled fashion. There's going to be lots of people on chain now. We'll need moderation solutions. We will need curation solutions, personalization. We've just announced recently our partnership with Kilt for digital identity, decentralized identity, and that's our first partner, but we hope many people will come into the ecosystem here and get involved to help build out a better world. So when people come over, there's a world waiting for them, with open arms that has all the things they've come to, all the features they've come to enjoy in the kind of Web 2 world they live in today. So that's kind of the nutshell there. We're looking at millions coming over within quarters, and we just a call out for you all to, would love to join us in providing some of the core functionality these millions of people are going to need to flourish in this new world. And we'd love to talk to anybody who's interested in getting involved. We specifically are looking to talk to, and are talking to wallet providers right now, because as people come in to the ecosystem, the Frequency Foundation, we're a contributor. They will be running a community rewards program, and so people will en masse then be eligible to receive these tokens, and they'll of course need to then up level from the tokenless wallet they have when they first come in to a full feature wallet to claim their tokens. So we'd love to have those kind of conversations if anybody's interested as well. And if you want to check out how this all works and how simple it really is, this QR code would take you right to MiWi, our first partner. You can just go there and you'll see how it's just a simple sign up, just like any other kind of site on the web. Very low friction. And before you know it, you're on chain and kind of first footprints into this new world for a lot of people that aren't currently deep into tokens and NFTs, et cetera. So yeah, we're excited about it. We invite you all to join us. Thank you for the time. May have gone so fast we lost our MC, but no. No worries. I like them fast.
Any questions? I found that interesting. I'm going to ask you this quickly, Braxton, because you got time. I got a question. Your thoughts on Subsocial? You must know about Subsocial. Do you know about Subsocial? Thoughts on Subsocial, what they're doing in comparison to some of the work that you guys are doing? I mean, technically it is a competitor, if you like, but I mean, obviously we're all working together technically, and I like what you said. Instead of two Elons, we can have 1,000 Elons kind of thing. That was interesting. Thoughts on projects like a Subsocial?
Sure. So we're focused on just the fundamental social graph being decentralized and even decoupled from any particular chain. That could be, in theory, complementary to Subsocial and other projects. We've talked to them, by the way. We haven't linked yet, but we've certainly been open to exploring that. They've done some really interesting things, we think, with actually leveraging the power of blockchains and tokens for specific implementations of social affordances, which, like I mentioned in my earlier slide, we are not focused on a lot of these pieces like moderation, et cetera. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to collaborate. We're early days, so Kilt was a more direct way to partner. They do digital decentralized IDs. And once again, we're not trying to build a full-featured social network. We're trying to focus on a social substrate to build out the network with a constellation of projects. And so I think there's a lot of room to collaborate.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Nice differentiation. Social substrate, not social network. That's very cool. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Braxton. Appreciate that.